Hi, my name is Darlington, and you're welcome to the Security Manager channel where we discuss security matters. Okay, so today I want to talk about domestic staff, the horror of domestic staff. Usually, domestic staff are employed by their employers to help ease the stress around the homes, to help cook, do the laundries, run errands, drive, security persons to manage the gates, the access control, and by doing all this, it's expected that the stress is reduced for the employer, and of course they should have more rest, less stress, and live longer. However, the reverse has become the case. Domestic staff many domestic staff have now become a terror and a source of cutting short the life of their employers. All over the world, the stories of domestic staff having to kill their employers, attack their employers directly, cooks, maids, security, drivers, name them, have stories all over the world. We have stories all over the place of how domestic staff either attack their employers directly or they collude with criminals to either maim, kidnap, or kill their employers or their family members. And this is what I call the horror or terror of domestic staff. Investigations has revealed that in most of these cases, these domestic staff are not easily caught up with. In fact, many of them are still at large. It's even so disheartening that most of the victims of this kind of cruel and wicked murder are even highly placed persons that, as it were, they should know better. I don't mean this as an insult, but you should know better. Okay? So investigations carried out so far, because of course if we have not been able to apprehend most of these culprits, then there are loopholes, there are reasons for this. So investigations have revealed some level of carelessness in the process of recruiting our domestic staff. And this carelessness is what is coming with these dire consequences of loss of life. In fact, I had a story, not just domestic staff, bringing in strangers that you don't even know them from Adams. In the bid to help, they cry to you and pretend as if they are homeless or something, and you house them in your house. I heard of a story that was trending on Facebook that a lady who claimed to have issues with her husband was assisted by another woman who had 2 children, and they had a misunderstanding. The woman attacked her with a pistol. The one being hosted, the guest, attacked the owner of the house with a pistol, and the lady collapsed and fainted. This guest bundled the woman into a room, and the 2 children locked the door and set the house ablaze. Honestly, if this story, this is wickedness. So with the upsurge of all this kind of event, domestic staff killing their employee to cut away their belongings, jewelries, and valuables, it has now become imperative that I share this content. I speak to these things as a security expert. Okay, so and here, so I just want to talk about a few steps, a few things. I just want to talk about a few things that you should do to get your domestic staff the right way. At least if you do all this, it will limit to a very great extent all this happening. And the first thing I want to talk about is getting your domestic staff from a reputable source. Yes, hiring from a reputable source. You can get usually what will happen is that most people, they just get domestic staff because somebody referred them. Somebody just say, these people from this village, from this state, from this locality, from this African country, they are good for domestic staff, and you don't even know how they came into the country. You don't even know if they are indigenous of the country, and they just employ them. And when these things happen, you can't even trace them. Okay, so get your domestic staff from a reputable organization, from a reputable agency, or of course person's referral is also okay, but these people have to be trustworthy. They have to be credible, maybe from friends that you know, close friends, associates, maybe your siblings or relatives, you know. But the bottom line is, get your domestic staff from a reputable source. You can get them through agencies or through a referral. Point number 2, when you get these people as domestic staff referred to you or recommended to you by whoever, the most very vital thing to do is to conduct a background check. Yes, no matter who referred this person to you, do your homework, do a background check. Now, what is a background check? Background check is simply verifying, is a process of verifying if somebody is actually who they say they are. They came from where they say they came from. They lived where they claim they have lived. They worked where they claim they have worked. And what actually made them live where they were working before is actually what they told you made them live there, is what actually made them leave the place. And even their guarantors are not ghosts. So it means that, speaking to background check, you need to know where they live. You need to ask questions around. It's not enough for them to take you and point out, this is the house I live. No, they may have just stayed there for 1 or 2 days before you came, and they came across you. Ask questions around. Okay, who are their guarantors? Know their guarantors. Confirmed. In fact, one of the managers in my office came to me one day and said, they want an Indian. We want to employ a domestic staff, and I'm thinking we should do a background check. I said, smart guy. And he asked me what was involved. I said, get me the full name, get me the address, get me the guarantor's full name, get me the guarantor's contact address, and the living address and office address, so that we can confirm, is this person from where she says she's from, and are these guarantors even in existence. So please, this one is very key. Some people have paid dearly, they have paid severe prices for hiring the wrong staff. And just as a company will not just employ anybody without being thorough and going through the interview and doing thorough checks on them, you who are bringing somebody to live in your own house with your children, with your family, sometimes handle your food and all that, you must not sleep on this. In fact, if you don't take anything home, this is the most important aspect of employing a domestic staff. Okay, background check. If you cannot do it by yourself, you can. There are agencies that can run it for you. Yeah, there are agencies. There are. I think there's one international background check organization agency. You can check. There are avalanche of them in Nigeria here and all over the world, wherever you are living. Okay, so point number 3, which also is a follow-up on background check: conduct medical check. Especially when it is a nanny, someone that will have to handle your children. Okay, so you know their mental state, you know their health state. Even a driver, even if it's a driver or a security, but you need to know, are they psychologically okay? So you don't, get someone, are they emotionally stable? So someone doesn't carry in your car and go crash into something when he forgets himself. So you need to know the health status, just like companies do. When my company, before I got employed, resumed, I was asked to do medical checks, at reliable hospital recommended by them. So you should also know the hospital. You can even do that yourself, take them to the hospital to conduct medical checks, so you can have access to the result and be sure these people are sound and have the capacity to support whatever support house chores you want them to do for you. The fourth part, which is almost a follow-up on also the background check, is conduct the interview process yourself and be thorough. Do not conduct interview for domestic staff when you are tired. In fact, really, you don't even conduct interview when you are tired, because at that point you are not even at the right state of your mind. I will say that because you're already stressed. So fix this kind of interviews on Saturdays or Sundays evening when you're free, when you know you are relaxed. Be thorough. Yeah, thorough in the sense that you should ask all the questions. Where have you worked before? What's your highest academic qualification? Why didn't you go to school if the person did not go to school? Where are your parents? Who are they? Are they late? Okay, where are they from? You know, ask those questions. Where did you work before? I worked in XYZ organization. Why did you live there? They will tell you. So, and this information will also help you in conducting your background check. I just want to tell you that your life is precious to you, to your loved ones, and to Nigerians, and of course to the citizens or nationals wherever you came from. So please don't fail to do your proper check and findings on anybody you want to employ, especially when it has to do with your domestic staff. All right, so I'm making this content from Nigeria, and we've had a lot of cases like this. So anywhere in the world where you are watching this content from, if you have stories, experiences, near misses on this subject matter, please share with us at the content section below, comment section below, so that people will also learn and be better informed. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and turn on also the post notification bell if this is the first content you're watching from the Security Manager, so that when I put other contents up, you are able to be notified, and of course you get to learn more. All right, so coming up next will be discussion on how to better manage your domestic staff, so they know their boundaries, you know what kind of job to do with them, and how to even handle them during the interview, like discussing the details of the job, the requirement, the job scope, and ensure that your staff understand it. Until we see the next time, please stay safe. It's better to stay safe than to be sorry. Thank you.